A very good morning to one and all present here in this auspicious morning. Have today with us esteemed guest Jaspreet Kaur, who is a networking specialist and
Hello.
just yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Your voice is
Yes,
cracking.
yes, you're audible.
Your voice is
Okay.
cracking. Huh?
So
No, it's
let me
clear, ma'am.
introduce our
Okay.
esteemed speaker of the day. She's Jaspreet Kaur, who has more than 2 decades experience in corporate communications and branding at ICI Bank and BNP Paribas. Trains MBA students as prestigious B schools, works with individuals to develop executive presence and leadership, as well as she is a soft skills trainer. Also, she founded Minerva, a social networking club that takes both online as well as offline networking. And she keeps organizing networking events and helps people socialize and build their great networks. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, Jaspreet ji.
Good morning, Shivani, and thanks for having me here. So it's nice to be, and I can see there are about 13 participants. So I think you know the mantra. We
The
will
number
have.
goes on increasing by some
Yeah,
time.
yes, yes, yes. So let's do one thing. Can I
As a,
request people to unmute themselves for a while? Because I wouldn't want to do a monologue. It becomes very difficult. So since we have 15 people, so it would be a good idea. I am looking at the chat window also. It would be a good idea. We have this topic today, online and offline personal brand. So, I'll be very happy if, and most of you are professionals, academically very qualified and accomplished. I'll be happy to hear from all of you. What do you think? What is a personal brand and what builds a personal brand? And why do you think I would have chosen this kind of a topic? So you can write in the chat window, or somebody can take the initiative and speak.
Well,
I
hi,
will
good morning.
request.
This is
Good
Yeah,
morning.
just
Pinaki.
good morning. This is
Good
Pinaki.
morning. Yeah, Pinaki, please tell
I
me.
think let me break the ice. So,
Yes.
see, personal branding, what I personally think is like the way people know me.
Right.
So it's
Right.
my projection of my perceptions, and it's their
Uh,
perception about my projection.
Right. 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 Absolutely right. So Pinaki, are you a CA? I'm
No,
not
no, I'm not.
sure,
No, I'm not a C.
Acha. Okay. Okay. So do you mind telling me what is your profession?
Well, I'm into digital marketing, and I'm also
Okay.
into life coaching.
Okay.
But I'm
Excellent.
I'm I'm a new person. I'm a new guy in this entire world of life coaching. Though I was
Okay.
coaching myself for last 30 years, not others.
Okay. 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 So
He's
let
an
us pick.
NLP master practitioner.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. That's right. Pinaki, you've said it right. Anybody else who would like to add something to it? Nobody? Okay. Pinaki, tell me
I
one
would
thing now
request
that,
those who can speak can unmute themselves and
yeah. Please take the
speak whatever you
initiative.
want to say.
The, the toughest part about being on Zoom and doing online sessions is that it's difficult to involve people. Okay, we have so many of them. Would Jyoti Mehta like to speak? Khushbu, Kruti,
Good morning,
Manjeet,
ma'am,
Lakshman. Good morning. Good
and good
morning.
morning, everyone on the call. Uh,
Good morning.
good morning.
See, my understanding of personal branding would be to, first of all, understand what are my strengths and
Right,
how do I want to project it in front of the world, and then how to going forward market it to people,
right.
and
So,
getting
yeah,
getting to know my purpose, that the ikigai sort of a thing, and
okay,
and
okay.
it would help me to bring forth my personality in front of the world at large.
Yes. So this is also right. So do we have, by any chance, we have a doctor, like the real doctor, not the PA? Do we have a doctor in this group?
Jyoti Mehta.
Acha. So no, so Jyoti Mehta is a doctor.
No,
No,
Okay,
I'm not a
no
doctor.
problems.
no.
Okay. So
I'm not
let's
a
do one
doctor.
thing. No problems, no problems. So let's do one thing. Let's pick up an example of a doctor right now because we don't have a doctor in the group. So tell me one thing. Uh, we all go to doctors at some point of time. It could be once in 6 months, once in a year, but definitely we've all seen doctors in our lifetime, right? Now, we have an impression of a doctor in our mind. Okay. What is that impression that we have? We figured out, created a picture. So, Nidhi, do you want to talk about this?
What did you say about doctor? I didn't get you properly.
I said that we all, because doctor medical is one profession, we all have met doctors in our lives at some point of
Sure.
time, as a child also, as adults also. So we have an impression of a doctor in our head. Okay. So what is that impression we have when we think of a doctor?
Somebody who will heal us, who will give medicine, or sometime who will give injection. It's
Will give
painful.
injection. Yes. And we expect the doctor to know it all. Anything that relates
Yes.
to body and mind, Anna, we think the doctor will know about nutrition also because he or she has studied medicine. They will know everything, irrespective of what their specialization is, because that's fixed in our mind. When as children we've gone to doctors with our small problems, that's the impression we have developed that doctors are most intelligent. Okay.
Yes.
Right? It's a mindset. Doctors are most intelligent. They would have got a seat in medical. They would have, and you will mostly see them with glasses. Most of them would have lost their hair at a very young age studying, right? So there is a physical image that we have of a doctor in our mind. Okay. Now, have you ever seen Shah Rukh Khan doing the role of a doctor in movies? Because people will not accept him as a doctor. We see him like a romantic hero, right? So similarly, when we look at doctors in the movies also, they will never show like a bodybuilder who's a doctor, like a Hrithik Roshan with a perfect physique doing the role of a doctor. I mean, once in a while it could happen, but I'm generally telling you. Okay. So what does that
Ma'am,
mean?
1 minute. When we say advertisement, that person
Yeah,
is not really, but they have worn a white the suit or what is
yes,
that coat.
yes,
They have a
yes,
status or something.
yes. Yes. So, there are a lot of elements around your branding. Number one, you have to represent who you are, what profession you belong to. So, what is the easiest way to do? Right? One is through our dressing. Now, someone like me who's in a very creative profession, okay, I have the leeway to dress creatively, try some very bold colors, okay. But the moment you go to a banker, okay, who's dealing with people's money, okay, so people, you will always see them in blues and grays and whites, okay. They have a very conservative dressing because that gives us the confidence that they are uh, we are trusting them with the money, so somehow those colors reflect that confidence. So when we look at doctors, we don't think of Shah Rukh Khan and Hrithik Roshan, we will think of somebody who has glasses, who has got glasses over a period of time. And when we see young doctors also, we don't get the confidence. जितनी डॉक्टर की ज्यादा एज होगी, we feel they are more experienced. That is why when I have some doctor clients come to me, one of the things, especially when they are young, I tell them, even if you don't have glasses, please put glasses. One of the doctors came, he said, I'm losing my hair, I'm getting baldness. I said, please let it happen because that will give you weightage in your profession. People will start, respecting you more for your seniority and experience. If you look young, people don't trust your advice, right? And we also see that a lot of doctors are also unfit. Okay, they will have a paunch, but we are perfectly okay with it, right? So the first point that I would like to make is that physically we must align ourselves with our profession. Okay, you will not see a chartered accountant having a pony, going to the income tax office. Some things we don't relate to. So that is one aspect you keep in mind. Now, the second aspect is developing our skills, especially towards communication. Okay, we now, given that I have been a soft skills trainer. I remember prior to that, even when I was in my corporate job, I I was in a role where I was working directly with the chairman, the CEO, and board of directors. So one of the things I realized that at their positions, they will only mingle with their peers, okay, and they will not laugh. They will smile. Okay? So being with them all the time, I literally lost my smile. I always had a pinched smile. Okay. So the second aspect was how much you speak. So your environment is going to have an impact on you, how much you speak. So sometimes when we do not know what to speak, it is perfectly okay that you don't speak rather than end up speaking what people don't expect you to speak. Right? So it goes against you rather than something going against you. It's better to stay silent. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, लोग बोलेंगे कि वो चुप था. तीसरी चीज है ना, if you don't have any insights to share, है ना, somebody's asked your opinion for something. Now these are things when I'm sharing these points, these are things which happen to us in person, and everything relates to communication. If you don't have any insights to share, again, just appreciate. It takes no time and effort to appreciate people and tell them that, my understanding about this subject was not as much as, you shared with me today. And I'm glad we met and we spoke about it. Appreciate people as much as you can, but those appreciations have to be genuine. Now, you tell an architect that you design, I like the design of your houses, or you tell a CA, I'm giving you examples. People, they are good in their profession. But the point is, if you tell a CA, I always knew you are good at your profession, but you have so much understanding of gardening, or you can sing so well, or make time to go for your music classes. I appreciate that. Avoid telling somebody how, I would say, of course, compliment people on looks, okay? But you have to see who the person is. Even if men have to compliment women, okay? Uh, what is the right way of saying? Well, I would be happy if men answer this. Because these are things which we have in our daily lives. Yeah.
There are many things. If she's really very well dressed, you can say you're well dressed, you look grand, you look glass cuss, or you look really good. उनके कुछ बाकी चीजें कोई अच्छा ही हो, वो बोलने में अच्छी है तो उसके बारे में बोल सकते हैं. मतलब whatever is genuine, what is authentic, you can express
So
that.
I would say avoid as much as you can talking about women's beauty or her dressing sense, or if you still feel like complimenting, just say you look nice.
That's I wanted to say that
हाँ
only. Look
हाँ
great.
हाँ
That's all.
हाँ, you look great. अगर बहुत मन कर गया है ना, otherwise of course when you compliment people, ideally it should always be on their skills. Okay, the skill could be as small as telling somebody that when we were in that meeting, I could see how both of them got into a discussion, and that discussion became very aggressive. And the way you handle the whole situation, I don't think anybody else could have done that so nicely. Now, this is a skill, right?
Yes.
So, when you develop your skills, now this is a vast subject, what kind of skills we need to develop and so on. Communication skills is something that we need everywhere all the time. You could with your dressing, you can just develop that first impression. Of course, the first impression is very, very important. Okay. But the moment you open your mouth, that is what people remember you for, you know. So this is a continuous process. Keep working on your skills in terms of developing your communication. Now, when you have ladies around, okay, it is the lady's prerogative if she wants to shake hands with you. Okay. So it is the rule is that, you know, men have to wait for women to extend their hand, and when they extend their hand, only then they extend their hand. But because nowadays, you know, business has globalized, we talk of equality, so hence men also, most of the times you will see men extending their hands to women. But I would say, keep two things in mind. If you feel that it is going to make somebody uncomfortable, wait for them to extend hands. And second is, also in some of the countries and in some cultures, women don't shake hands, they do not touch another man. So let's be a little sensitive about it. The third thing is, uh, you know, when I spoke of appreciation, and I mean, it's a very long topic, but you know, I mean, you can spend like half a day only discussing appreciations. But quickly to move forward from that topic is introducing yourself and introducing people. Okay, what is it that I will not talk about introducing yourself? Okay, because we all keep introducing ourselves, but one of the key things is introducing others. You know, you have somebody with you and you have to introduce them to your friend. What do you think is an ideal scenario? You can pick up scenarios, whether it's a business meeting or a friend. What do you say about the other person in the introduction? You know, I'm
Mm,
making it quick since we have limited time. Yeah.
I would say that I meet so and so person. He's with me. He's my associate or whatever. Yeah, he's my friend. He do so and
Okay.
so,
So
or he's
today
engineer
only
or
I
doctor,
think
whatever.
Hirani and Pinaki are going to talk. Nobody else is going to talk, huh?
Yeah, we would introduce. Hello, this is
Yes.
Namrata Nayak.
Yeah.
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 So
Please, Amrita, go
yes,
ahead.
ma'am. Thank you for adding in. So what we would do is, we would introduce the speaker by taking using adjectives and talking about their achievements and their contribution, what they have made. So it's a
Yeah.
positive way of putting across and making the person feel wanted. The group or
Yes.
the audience will look forward for to hear from that person, from the about the subject matter expertise that person has.
Right. So what happens is she's absolutely right. And number one is, you know, since you all have been introducing yourself, always remember some golden rules. We do introductions. Introductions is to not for people only to know you. Okay, if I'm doing my introduction, it's not only for people to know me, it's also for people to know, uh, you know, they're going to develop trust in me, and I have to build my credibility through my introduction. Okay. So if I build my credibility, you will gradually start trusting me. The same responsibility lies on you for others. When you introduce them, as Namrata said, appreciate them. And it's always full name during introductions. Huh? Supposingly, my name is Jaspreet, or let's take Nidhi's example. Okay, so it is either Miss Singh or Miss Nidhi Singh, but it is never Miss Nidhi. The prefix Miss and Mr. never goes with the first name, which I see a lot of people do this mistake. Okay, then it also depends whether you want to use prefix Miss and Mr. And the reason for you to you know, appreciate a person and bring out his her accomplishments in an introduction is because you are creating other person's credibility. Okay. Now, what you also need to remember is that we may not always have the chance to do it. So introductions have to be prepared in advance. Okay, you have to ask the other person. Sometimes when we go with our associates, we have a new team member, our seniors, sometimes we are not aware how to introduce the other person. Especially people who are in businesses, they have this challenge. They will not know so much about the other I mean, somebody with whom they have partnered and so on. So don't hesitate to ask people, I will have to introduce you. Do you mind telling me or sharing a draft with me, and it will help me introduce you effectively. Sorry. Okay. And the third thing is when it is a friendly environment, an informal environment where there's a party, there's a dinner, and bring out something common that you know between two people whom you are introducing. Okay. It could be maybe both of them are Shah Rukh Khan fans, both of them like trekking, both of them are fond of long drives. So you can always bring that one point which will help them connect with each other. Now, please remember there will be times when people will give you feedback about the guests you have got. Okay. Sometimes, and the feedback could happen in private also. Okay. Now, this is the biggest part when we are talking about branding. There are these very small but very, very important things. Somebody will, in a meeting, somebody will go out of line and talk. When two people are talking, they will intervene. The environment becomes very aggressive. If you can handle those kind of scenarios, right? Those are places where people start seeing you, observing you, that he or she is a good communicator. But very important in all this is gossiping. Okay. I also say loose talk. I also call it Chinese whisper. I also call it bitching. Okay. This is the most difficult scenario. It happens amongst friends also. It happens amongst colleagues also. It will happen between bosses and subordinates. So I'm sure at we all have experienced it in our school days also, in our college days also. It is lesser amongst men, I would say, more prevalent among women because of how we all are designed. And I'm a lady and I'm saying that. Okay. Men, their minds work a little differently. Women work differently. I'm not saying what is right and what is wrong, who's right and who's wrong. We are talking about how do we handle those scenarios. Okay. So, number one is if you've heard a gossip about you, Anna, how do you deal with that? Somebody's come and told you to win your trust. Shivani comes and tells me, Jaspreet, sorry, Shivani, I'm taking your name. Okay, you always believe in Hirani and you think he's a good friend. And, but this is what he was saying about you. Now, what do I do with it? Huh? What do I do with it?
Well, in my case, I always say that I'm so lucky that somebody is talking about me and paying attention to myself.
Yes, if you tell me, I would say that's the right spirit. Sometimes I also feel the same way that I'm doing something right. Okay. And maybe when you are influential, you are powerful, you are successful. Okay. People do talk about you, they gossip about you. Okay.
Yeah,
And
so I have a
yeah.
statement for
Talk.
myself. I have a statement which I often use. I say wrong or right, you are still right.
Yeah. Still in the news.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So people
Yes,
talk when you have done something significant, or you
yeah,
are
something
somewhere ahead of them, or something that they aspire to do, you have done.
yes. And if you
It depends
feel
upon
that,
the reaction also. Reaction
yes,
also.
huh. So
I
yeah,
know I have done
Karan.
something different, madam. Jadi someone
Yeah.
what I did, I said, did he say might be he's right, but I think he's so and so. I never criticize that person.
Hmm.
मैंने
Yes.
ये
So the
जाना है.
both. Ha.
हाँ.
So that does not mean if that person has said, you also start criticizing. But if at all, sometimes people do say that to build proximity with us. They feel that if we do that, it will build proximity. But I would say This is, I would agree to what Pinaki has said, because I think Pinaki said that, right? So I would agree to that. But also at the same time, you might want to take a call, right? And you might say that let us do one thing, because if it's a continuous process, you might want to clarify depending on who the person is. One, if you know the person well and you trust the person wouldn't have said, then we could just live with it, because we don't want to spoil our relationship. But at any point of time, you have any doubt, you tell this person, let us do one thing, let us do a conference call, and I will ask in your presence. Okay, let's clarify this and settle this once and for all. Okay, so that's also an option. So your decision has to be based on what you feel at that moment is right. These are calls we need to take. Now, the second thing is, whether it is business or personal life. Okay, again, it boils down to communication. Why do you think people would like to meet you? Or why would you like to meet people? Let me ask that. That's a better question. Why would you like to meet anybody?
Comfort level is my top priority.
Okay, comfort level. Okay, what else?
Mostly
Want
it is a
company
mutual
of
thing.
others.
Sorry,
Mostly it is a
sorry.
mutual thing. Mostly it is a mutual thing. I need something from him, and even he must be having some respect for me or some friendship sort of, knowing me. I would like to meet him
Okay,
for some
okay,
benefits, because without benefit, don't go and meet anybody.
okay. Win-win situation.
Win-win thing.
Okay, okay. So are we saying, do
Mm.
we look that for when we make friends, then we look at those parameters that, as a friend also it
Friend-
has to be win-win?
Friendship happens. I don't know why it happens. It's like
Oh,
love.
oh,
Humans are
okay.
social beings.
Yeah.
Humans happen.
Yes,
Yes.
that's very important. We are social beings. We need people around them. Would anybody else want to say something?
For
Okay,
knowledge sharing.
for knowledge sharing. Okay. So now what all of you said is right. I will just further
See each other,
dissect it.
to see each
Sorry?
other,
To
to see
see
each
each
other.
other. Yes, yes. Because we are social beings, we need people around us.
Back
Right?
on that.
One more
Now,
thing, one more
yeah.
point I would like to add here. We cannot
Huh,
do everything on our own. We need
huh,
people.
huh. We need people
It's a
around us.
combination
Yes.
of people and the things that work together, make our
Okay.
lives easy.
Okay. So tell me, all of you have, I'm sure, have friends, but there are certain friends we find more interesting than others. Okay. And it's not that we consciously think about it, but those certain friends whom we find interesting are interesting for a certain reason. Okay. So if you have five friends, one would be more closer to you, or you would like that one person more. Why is it like that?
Energy levels.
Energy levels, yes. And when you say
Then
energy level,
similarity is also one of the factors.
similarities, what else? I'm going to go back to what Hirani said was win-win situation. Okay. See, now you can think about it after this session, when you think about your friends. Okay. You tell me you have people who will only talk about, this is only an example, not that I mean people do this, but some of them do. They will only have certain subjects to talk on. Say, example, they like to talk about stock markets and they can talk about stock markets for hours and hours. Okay. But then beyond a point, we also get tired listening to that. Then there will be people around you who will continuously have this habit of complaining, ribbing. They'll do a lot of negative talks. So that's where the vibes come in. And then you will have friends who can talk on diverse subjects. They are well read, well traveled, a lot of exposure. Okay. So it is up to you to decide. When you think of win win, when I think of win win, one thing I always keep in mind is I am not going to look at the money that person has, which car does that person have, what can he or she do for me, can they help me In fact, when you have very accomplished people, financially very sound people, you will see they'll be very less helpful because they will always have this feeling that he or she might want to take advantage of my situation. And why am I saying this is I run a networking club. So I have some personal friends who are super accomplished. So I make sure I invite one friend at each event of mine. At the same time, they are never visible in my photographs, never visible in my videos. And I also tell my members that please do not write about them on the social media that you met them, right? I don't want people to take advantage of their positions, and I don't want to take advantage of their positions. Okay. So for you, you have to you have to understand whether it is professional life or making friends. The moment people start seeing you taking advantage of their position or connections, they start going away from you or start avoiding you. So when you make friends or when you have friends, you will always find those people more interesting who have high energy levels, who are never complaining, who have a positive outlook, जिनको घूमना पसंद है, जो वो plays देखते हैं, because there is so much to learn from them. It is sometimes you may have nothing to contribute, but there's so much to learn. So this also means that those people look for similar qualities in you, which means to build your own brand. When we talk of self development, a very important aspect of self development is also that you should be able to talk on diverse subjects, right from technology to fashion, to movies, uh, to advertising, younger generation, politics, automobiles. You should be able to talk on all of this. They don't expect you to be masters, but yes, living in India, you can't be not knowing, what is the political scenario, what's the election results going to be, and so on, right? So keep yourself updated. This is a very important aspect of personal branding. Okay, I am going at a faster pace, but please stop me because I can see a few chats. Okay, okay. Huh. So tell me, are there any questions so far? Okay. Then the second point I would like to make is that always, have mentors for yourself, irrespective of your age, experience, professional accomplishments, and give credit to your mentors. There are a lot of things that we would have learned from people around us, young, old, right? Publicly acknowledge them. That these are the people who've guided me on this. I've learned this from him, even if the person is there or not there. Okay. When you appreciate people behind their back, that, that builds your brand. But when you gossip behind their back, that takes away a lot of things from you. That reduces your credibility.
It kills the brand. It will kill the
Sorry?
brand. If you talk behind the back, it will kill. If you gossip behind the back, it will kill
Yes.
the brand. Whatever we
Yes,
request.
yes, 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 yes. So that is why it's very important to make note of these things. Now, because we are already at 7:40, what I will do is I will quickly touch upon online branding, and then if time permits, I will come back to offline branding again. Okay, but I spoke about important aspects of, carrying yourself and developing your communication skills and being neutral at most of the times, attending business networking meetings, avoiding talking about business at all times, talk about diverse interests, take interest in people, in knowing them, in helping them, in adding value, walking out of the way, meet them for tea, coffee, lunch, dedicate time to networking. Every week you should aim to meet one person, spend about an hour, hour and a half over lunch, breakfast, whatever you do. dedicate time to building relationships. See, business बाद में आ सकता है. Okay, that shouldn't be the agenda, and hence that's the reason I am never in favor of what do you call speed dating, speed networking meets, and all of that. Because you don't suddenly, you've heard me today, you will not want to do business with me. You would want to know me more, develop a relationship with me. Meeting me for 5 minutes will not help you take that decision. To do all of those things. Now, quickly, I will move to online, and if time permits, I'll come back. So, what do you think when I say online branding? What comes to your mind first?
Insta, YouTube,
Huh, huh,
LinkedIn.
yes, yes, yes. So, Instagram and Facebook, now they are a little informal. Okay, and you post funny stuff, of course it gets noticed, but depends now what image do you want people to develop about you. Okay, you can do what you like, but I find those platforms a little informal, but it is okay to be there, but please be aware of what you are putting. I'm giving you an example. Now, if somebody is a teacher, a professor, a vice chancellor in a university, now there is a certain image that people have in mind, and they have a lot of students. Okay. So, now suddenly a teacher puts her photograph in shots, at Goa beach. The students are not going to relate to it. There's a huge difference. They've always seen her in saris. So I'm not saying don't wear shorts. Okay. I'm saying just be mindful of what to show publicly because you have students, right? So the second thing is, LinkedIn. So use the casual platforms, but ensure that you use them seriously. Don't go on the casual environment because others are doing it and we can do it. No, keep your personal positioning in mind. So that's one point. How many of you use LinkedIn actively? Okay. I have some. So, Pinaki, for your profession, personal connection with influencers is very, very important, right? So, that of course goes by saying, so that is why I picked up an example of a teacher. Okay. Now, so LinkedIn, Google, LinkedIn, business happens when you develop trust. Okay. So, I'll be happy to see in the chat how many of you use LinkedIn. We are 27 people. Okay. Um, okay. Shivani is written, the first one. Okay. 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 So Manjeet also uses Pratik. Okay. A lot of people I have observed, and I'm saying it today because today I'm using LinkedIn. I wouldn't have said it uh, a few months ago also, because now I have to, when I go to business schools and when I talk on offline, online branding, and I have to deliver lectures, of course, that's like a subject there for me. And, it has to be quite comprehensive. But a few things I had to myself develop those skills. Uh, Now, over a period of time, having done it myself, I realized that definitely if you use any tool, number one is do trials and errors, but don't do too many trials and errors. Okay. You don't want a doctor to do the first surgery on you, right? It's a big risk you take. So take some small training, which will give you some basic understanding on how to use the tool. The second thing is, and it saves time also. Okay. The second thing is, I see a lot of people, reading, but not engaging. Okay. And then I have people come and tell me, people don't engage on my posts. But you are also not engaging on anybody's post. People have put in a lot of time and effort. First thing is learning how to create a post. Now, Manoj says me, but actively. Okay. So, which I understand that he means he uses LinkedIn actively. So, he will know that, if we put in so much of effort to engage, create a post, put the content online, it's a feel good factor when somebody reads that post, likes the post, right? And shares their view. Now, it could be an insight, it could be an appreciation, whatever it is. First step is start engaging and commenting on people's post. The second step is when you do that, they also reciprocate. It cannot happen that every day you are commenting on somebody's post and appreciating them and they will not come back. They may not do the first 5, 7 times, but I promise they get back to you. So that's how the whole ecosystem of LinkedIn works. And Manoj, I would want you to unmute yourself and tell me, since you use it actively, what is your experience?
No, sorry, ma'am. I don't use actively. I have written next, not
Huh.
actively. Okay.
Acha, not
So,
actively me,
yeah.
but actively. Okay. Okay, I have
Okay.
read it also. Acha, later on, you've
Yeah,
written
later
down.
on I
Yeah,
put it. Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. That was a typo error.
Yeah,
Okay,
typo
I
error.
would,
Thank you.
I would
Ma'am,
stop.
ma'am,
Yeah,
Namrata here.
tell me,
I
Namrata.
just have a question. See, I have this habit of reposting somebody else's article, which if I like it, right? So,
Right.
is it a wise thing to do, or people look at it negatively? Matlab, I just
No,
wanted your
so
perspective on this.
yeah, Namrata. So two things. One, reposting never helps. Okay, either you take that post, ask that person, can I post it on my profile? So reposting does nothing, no benefit to you. Okay, somebody may or may not look at the repost. I don't think even reposting has the option to comment. So at the max, we can only like the reposted post.
Sorry to
I
interrupt.
think that is how it works. I'm not sure, but I think that is how it works. Yeah, tell me, Shivani.
Sorry to interrupt. So reposting has comments, but it doesn't helps you in your personal branding, and
Yes,
it
yes.
helps in the person whose post you are
For
reposting.
whom? Yes. So sometimes I've seen I'm not able to re-comment on reposts also, but I've not
You can
gone deep in
repost
it.
when there is some very nice post. You can repost, but try to keep it your own personal views. Be
So
authentic.
yes, yeah.
That
So the
is how it
second
We
thing
can
works.
is
also
that
repost with our own comments. In that case, the comments will get added to our
Still,
profile only, and the person whose post it was originally, that person will also get a credential that we have used that
so my
person.
question here is my question. I have 2 points to make. Number one, it's very important to have your original content. So as much as possible, please post your content only. The second thing is if you want to repost somebody's content, like there was a post last week that Brigadier Sushil had written for me, and you can see it on my wall also. And he sent me a message that Jaspreet, you might want to repost it. And I didn't do that. What I did was I wrote my own post and I tagged him. Okay. And I gave the credit to him for writing something and so on. So you can obviously share somebody else's initiative, appreciate that person on your wall, but make an original post and then tag them so that they also get credit, and whatever you are trying to achieve out of it, that objective is met and people see that okay, you are appreciating others. So that definitely that is more impactful than doing that. The third thing is undoubtedly, it helps you to build your personal brand. Okay. Uh, Over a period of time. So, see, if, of course, if you are trying to generate business from LinkedIn, it works a little differently. But if you are trying to build your personal brand, it works effectively. You just have to identify your niche. You have to focus on your niche. There are a lot of courses available online. You can do it at the comfort of your house, spend a few hundred rupees and learn the basics, which will help you understand what is it that I should be posting? How can I add value to people's life? Sometimes they could be softer topics. Okay, depending on what role you are in. Supposingly, you are in the role of, only LinkedIn marketing. So what I would suggest to you is, if you all have LinkedIn IDs, please start using them first by observing what others are doing. What are the kind of posts you like to read? Go through people's professions, see what kind of content are they reading or writing. Okay. So you will understand, then you will see people who are great in content writing, there is more engagement on their posts. Okay. So first 15-20 days, just invest in observation. Observation teaches you a lot of things. Then gradually start commenting on people's posts. Then start creating your own posts. I would say the thought has to be original. Use ChatGPT if you know how to use it. Okay. You can use that to better your language, but it's very easy to identify if the whole content is from ChatGPT. So, people get to know. So it's just okay to write small content. There's a certain format. You see, people don't like to read long paragraphs. How can I make it more crisp? Have small, small sentences, which is readable. You see, which posts are a hit, and align the post with people's profession, then see it in totality, and then you will start understanding. LinkedIn is one thing, in fact, for that matter, any social media, or anything that you do regularly, consistently, you will start becoming better at it. You will start understanding the algorithm. Okay.
Madam,
Yes.
one thing, what
Yeah.
I do in ChatGPT, I write my ideas, but just to get it corrected, grammatically it should be right and all these things. Then they make it almost same what I write. They
Yes.
don't give
Yes.
their
So,
ideas.
so you're talking about ChatGPT?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can
So
do that
that's
also.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is what
Ah,
I'm saying, that it
okay.
depends on you, what kind of command do you give to ChatGPT, what is it supposed to do? But the ideas have to be yours, and the language has to be simple. Okay. Now, uh, so again, online is a vast subject. We can spend half a day on it. But a few things in terms of etiquettes. Now, supposing I'm giving you examples, you have developed your communication skills, you have developed, you're very good at dressing and grooming and carry yourself well, you have a nice LinkedIn profile. But I said something in the beginning, people always remember how you made them feel when you were with them. And they will remember those things, the experience you created for them. Okay, that is what makes a huge difference. I'm telling you, you take somebody out for a lunch or dinner, uh, or you meet them for coffee. Okay, how do you talk to the restaurant staff? You are talking to that person nicely, the person is impressed. But if you don't talk to the staff nicely, you don't talk to your driver nicely, you don't talk to the taxi wala nicely, okay, or you commented on somebody, or you became judgmental, those are things people will always remember. So please ensure that we develop the habit of talking to children, to beggars, to everybody, because that is where people see the real you, right? Do you agree with me on this? Is there someone who disagrees,
Yes,
can
yes,
write in the chat
yes, yes,
window,
very much,
right? So
very much.
they see the human side of us as to how we are. So that is one thing we need to take care. We have 6 minutes with us, Shivani, right? So now, because I've been talking for a long time, let us be very specific. I would be happy to answer as many questions as you have in the rest 6 minutes. And in fact, I'll be happy if you ask me questions.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights. And the floor is open for questions. Anyone has questions, you can go ahead. So I find like very few people are actively writing content on LinkedIn. So if you are willing, I can take a lead and frame a challenge sort of thing where we all might be posting, and we can go ahead. I can guide you all into personal branding. Just in case, I'll put a poll in the group, and just in case you want, so I can read you all ahead. I was even planning for launching a LinkedIn posting challenge sort of thing, and actually the vibes of the community, it helps to grow each other, and we all can somewhere we all can uplift each other.
Yeah. So if you
That can be
see,
done.
okay, me and Shivani have met on LinkedIn. We've connected on LinkedIn. Okay. So Shivani commented on my post, appreciated my point of view. I went back, I commented on her post. So it is mutual. Shivani, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
And it is
That,
like people are asking me how you network with people. So it is you are sitting at your home, you don't know where people are. And LinkedIn
yes,
is the
yes,
best
yes.
place to connect with any person on this planet. You can even
Right.
connect to the top leaders of countries or any celebrities or influencers, and it's so easy.
Right. And I would say your networking should always begin without an agenda, without looking at the
Right,
position of
right.
anybody. So there are some golden
Because
rules
people
to
don't like
networking.
the sort of people who just got a connection and start talking about business. You have
Yes.
to make a connection, you create trust, and then only you can build a solid relationship.
Yes.
Then business happens automatically. You don't need to go
So,
for business.
so don't look at people who have 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs followers, 50,000, 1 lakh.
Yeah.
They will never look at your answers. They will
Right.
never, say
Add
a
value.
thank you to you for.
I would like
Yeah.
to say add value to their post. When they are
Yes.
posting something, you have something valuable to say. Just put it as a comment. They will themselves notice you.
Huh. So then you have to have two kinds of people in your network. Okay. One, whom you admire, you look up to, right? And you like their content. Now, if you see Sudha Murthy, people like to hear what she says because all that she says is from her day-to-day life, right? And when she posts it on LinkedIn, then there are so many people writing paragraphs and commenting. But I'm not sure whether, she's of course not going to personally engage on it. Nobody has the time to do that. You can do that, but only comment when there is some insight that you have. Otherwise, look at common people, people like Shivani and me. Okay, when we engage with each other. Okay, and we appreciate the fact that people have taken out time to comment on our post, read the post, commented on it. So you need to relate with both the people. They should be in your list. People like us, people like Sudha Murthy. I mean, all the accomplished people. So it's your networking has to be a mix of people. But the golden rule is, please do not think if people are in your in-person network and if people are in your online network, okay, ensure you maintain a relationship with them where they do not feel that you plan to take any kind of advantage from their position. Okay, you can have your clients become your friends. Okay, but it is a very difficult scenario where your friends become your clients. आपकी friendship भी जाती है और काम भी खराब होता है.
And
मुझे ये भी एक
everything you are posting builds your personal brand. It adds it.
Yeah.
People perceive you how you are
How
behaving in
serious
a
you
certain
are in
way,
life.
or
Yeah. How
how
serious you are in your life. When I say serious, I don't mean the literal serious, but it means seriousness towards life. You don't take things casually. Right? In your casualness, also you could be serious.
Right.
Right?
Yes, Prashanti.
So, yeah, any other questions? Given we had limited time.
Hi,
Yes, please. Hi. Yes, tell me.
That was a great session, I'd say. Thank you so much for that. I just have
Thank
one
you.
quick question for you.
Sure, sure.
So, what are the top three things that, personally help you build this level of credibility among people?
Okay. One is your own knowledge. Okay. So you should be able to talk on diverse subjects with people when you sit with them. You need to have an opinion. Okay. You should be able to take stand for what you believe in. So your own value system. Second is being neutral. Okay. When you are in public, not favoring anybody, not criticizing anybody, not gossiping anybody. Uh, Third is, of course, very, very important is your communication skills. I said that is why, it, there are endless things we can go on and on. But if you master one skill, and that is communication, everything else is taken care of. So uh, I have maximum clients who come to me are for this skill, communication skills. It's very easy to invest some money, buy good clothes for yourself, but it is very difficult to master this one skill. Have I answered you, Prashant? Okay,
Yeah,
and build
absolutely.
this personal, yeah, and build this personal connect with people. Now, see, the moment I say Prashant twice, okay, uh, you will develop a connect with me. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So right. So I am looking at the screen. I am trying to involve people. So this is, you have to take interest in people, take interest in what people like. It can't be I, me, and myself. I may know it all, but it can't be I, me, and myself. No, it has to be about people. So make people feel good. Yes. Who else is there?
I would like to add here a concept. This is a concept called thought leadership. So when
Yes.
you connect the right thought, the context we are talking about, and add a point to it, it's called
Yes.
a thought leadership. That is how you connect the dots with the
Yeah.
knowledge you have to the context that is being talked about, and
Okay.
that is
So
you can add this value to a online as well as offline conversation.
yes. So Shivani has picked up a very nice word, thought leadership. So if you read the newspaper, there used to be, now I've stopped reading newspaper in a long time because everything comes online. But there used to be this section, which is still there. I've forgotten what's the name of that section, where you have these edit columns. You will have people write their views on a certain thing, right? So you could have a politician, right? I have, crossed the time. It is 8:02 now. So when you have, so I'll finish it up quickly. I'll finish this point. So when you have these people write things, okay, then if you see, they are expressing their view. Now, in our times, people would say anybody who appears in the newspaper. What does news have? It has two things in it, three things, in fact. Number one is the news. Number two is advertorials, what has been paid for and written there. And number three is you've been invited to write there. Okay. So these opinion columns were invitations where people were invited to write. Okay. Now, so that used to, at our time, only very few people are invited to write. But today, when you have online available to you, I think we all can become thought leaders. We can identify our niche, which area, what are we good at? Okay. What interests us? Okay. There is an audience for it. So we will focus on that area and we will create our thought leadership there. Okay. That tool is available to all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question if you have like
Yes.
2 more
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah. Please tell me.
All right. So as you mentioned, like another important aspect of this whole thing, building relationship with people, is psychological safety, right? So how
Yeah.
safe and intrigued people feel around you when you are communicating or when you are exchanging ideas with them, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
So one, yeah. Is there something else?
yeah. Yeah. My question is like, how does someone like, one could be a great communicator, yet might not be able to connect with the audience as well, right? I've seen that happening, right? Some
Hmm.
are like, not supremely confident or, amazing communicators, yet they have this thing in them which just gels them with the audience. These are the people who are generally more liked and well perceived. So how
You
could one start building the psychologically safe environment around them with
okay?
varieties of audience?
Okay. So now the onus lies with the speaker. Okay. If you recollect a little while ago, this, in fact, I have laid emphasis on this and I've spoken about it twice that as a speaker, or I would say as a professional, as a human being, it's very important for you to keep developing your communication skills. There is no other way. If you can't do it by yourself, take professional help. You meaning anybody. Okay. If you don't connect with people, if you don't connect with your own children, your own spouse at home, okay, at times people are introvert, they speak less. That's okay to be speaking less and being introvert, but you have to know when there is a need to speak, I have to speak. Okay, be it my employees, be it my team, be it my stakeholders. So, two things here. Number one, the ratio of empathy and connection could differ amongst people depending on in which environment they have grown, because our schooling, our environment at home, all of that makes a difference. Some people you find are very emotional, some people are a little transactional because that's how they've been groomed and grown up. But everything in today's time is a trainable skill, so you can develop that by yourself, or by taking professional help. I always recommend that पैरासीटामोल खानी है, कॉम्बिफ्लैम खानी है, सिर में दर्द हो रही है, हम खुद खा सकते हैं. क्रोसिन खानी है, 100 फीवर है, हम खुद खा सकते हैं. बट 102 फीवर 2 बार आ गया है, कल भी आ गया, आज भी आ गया, देन यू नीड अ डॉक्टर ना. Then you can't treat it yourself. So, same way, if you think I need to be better at it and become the best at it, then you need professional help. Have I answered you?
Yeah, you did. You did. That's certainly a vast subject. Communication skills is like, there's a huge subject, and there are different sub streams in it. I think this is
Oh
one. I
yes.
think as
In fact, in my recent networking meet, I had this gentleman who was very senior, super accomplished. But then, he just hijacked the whole agenda. Okay. So sometimes, even if you are superb at it, but because you have created a larger than life image and you have so much to talk, you don't give other people an opportunity to talk. So that's why I said that the onus lies on you to develop those skills. Otherwise, people will stop engaging with you. So, yes,
yeah,
I think
that's
now it's 8:10. So we've,
Thank
before
Thank you,
Shivani says,
Jaspreet ji.
Jaspreet.
And I like the way you started with doctor and ended also with the connecting it to the doctor. And at a
Hmm,
certain point of time, we all need a doctor, not only a doctor that heals our health, but a
right.
doctor is someone who possesses some specialized knowledge better than
Yeah.
us. And
Yes,
you
yes,
call it
yes.
doctor, you call it him coach or a mentor.
Yeah.
So that is what we all need at certain point of time. And to Prashantji, I would compliment that he has a wonderful, wonderful speaking ability. And the way you speak, you can be a great speaker. The voice modulation you carry is awesome.
Yes, yes, I agree. And Pinaki, thanks. I read what you've written. So it's very important that you check with your audience if they've understood your point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thanks a ton. Thank you so, so much. I've really liked talking to all of you. And a happy Saturday, happy Sunday. Stay connected. If you're not active on LinkedIn, get active on LinkedIn and let's connect
Thank
there.
you, Jaspreet ji. I'll make sure that they all get active on LinkedIn
Yes,
and build their
yes,
personal brands. Personal
yes,
brand not only helps us like build influence, but once you create that influence, there are numerous gates that will open to you. There are a lot
yes,
True, true.
more things that you can
right.
collaborate with. You can build your business. You can sell products and lot many things.
Hmm. Right, right,
And
right. Chalo.
once you
Thank
start
you so much.
experiencing, definitely you are going to know.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
thank,
Thank you so
thank you very
much.
much. We all of us need a
Okay.
All of
doctor.
yeah.
Some of the other type of doctor we need.
We
Yes,
need
thank you
in our
very much.
lives. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Prashant. Bye
Mohan
bye.
ji. Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Thank you.
next
Thank
Saturday,
you.
all of
Thanks.
you.
Bye bye.